Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that the U.S. House recently passed a bill that could potentially lead to the banning of TikTok unless the Chinese company that owns it sells it off within the next 6 months. The bill received 352 votes in favor and 65 against, with one member voting present. The measure has now been sent to the Senate for further consideration. President Joe Biden has indicated that he will sign the law if it is approved by Congress. The concerns behind this proposed ban stem from worries about national security and the possibility that TikTok, which is owned by China-based ByteDance, could be exploited by the Chinese government for spying on Americans or spreading disinformation to further China's interests. It's important to note that TikTok has consistently denied these accusations. Under the bill, ByteDance would be required to divest from TikTok and other apps it owns within 6 months of the bill taking effect. If not, TikTok would be removed from U.S. app stores. However, experts anticipate legal challenges, especially in the absence of direct evidence linking TikTok to Chinese government ties or surveillance. But before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to buy me a coffee in the video description below. And please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. The House voted with bipartisan, overwhelming fashion on Wednesday to pass a bill that could lead to a nationwide ban against TikTok, a major challenge to one of the world's most popular social media apps. The bill would prohibit TikTok from U.S. app stores unless the social media platform, used by roughly 170 million Americans, is spun off from its Chinese parent company ByteDance. It's not yet clear what the future of the bill will be in the Senate. The House vote was 352 to 65, with 50 Democrats and 15 Republicans voting in opposition. Lawmakers supportive of the bill have argued TikTok poses a national security threat because the Chinese government could use its intelligence laws against ByteDance, forcing it to hand over the data of U.S. app users. The push to pass the bill came up against headwinds from several different political directions. Former President Donald Trump, who was once a proponent of banning the platform, has since equivocated on his position, while Democrats are facing pressure from young progressives, among whom TikTok remains a preferred social media platform. TikTok creators in Beijing have responded angrily to the upcoming vote, with China's foreign ministry calling it an act of bullying. In a rare show of bipartisanship, the measure advanced unanimously out of the powerful House Energy and Commerce Committee, and President Joe Biden has said he would sign the bill if it makes it to his desk. The bill would give ByteDance roughly 5 months to sell TikTok. If not divested by that time, it would be illegal for app store operators such as Apple and Google to make it available for download. TikTok has called the legislation an attack on the constitutional right to freedom of expression for its users. It launched a call to action campaign within the app, urging users to call representatives in Washington to oppose the bill. Multiple congressional offices have said they've been flooded with calls. Now, the legislation heads to the Senate. In a statement on Wednesday's vote, TikTok said its attention would now shift to the Senate, where the fate of the legislation is unclear. This process was secret, and the bill was jammed through for one reason: it's a ban, a TikTok spokesperson said in a statement. We are hopeful that the Senate will consider the facts, listen to their constituents, and realize the impact on the economy, 7 million small businesses, and the 170 million Americans who use our service. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer issued a statement, remaining uncommitted to the next steps in the Senate. The Senate will review the legislation when it comes over from the House. Schumer, a Democrat from New York. Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Mark Warner, a Virginia Democrat, and the panel's top Republican Marco Rubio of Florida, urged support for the House bill, citing the strong showing in Wednesday's vote. We are united in our concern about the national security threat posed by TikTok, a platform with enormous power to influence and divide Americans whose parent company, ByteDance, remains legally required to do the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party, the bipartisan pair said in their joint statement. Former President Donald Trump recently took to his Truth Social platform to launch a vehement attack on President Joe Biden and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. In a flurry of incendiary comments following Biden's State of the Union address, Trump labeled Zuckerberg as Zuckerschmuck. 1. Trump believes that TikTok poses a national security threat, but he couldn't support Congress banning the popular app because doing so would boost support for Facebook, which he considers the enemy of the people. He initially supported efforts to ban TikTok in the US but recently reversed his stance. Trump argued that without TikTok, Facebook could grow even larger, and he expressed his strong disapproval of Facebook and much of the media. In another post on Truth Social, Trump claimed that if TikTok were eliminated, Facebook and Zuckerberg would double their business. His relationship with Facebook has been contentious, with his accounts being suspended after the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Meta, which operates Facebook and Instagram, reinstated his accounts last year after a 2-year provisional suspension. Trump then launched his own social media platform, Truth Social, in 2022. The proposed bipartisan bill could lead to a ban of TikTok in the U.S. if it does not cut ties with its parent company, China-based ByteDance. President Joe Biden has expressed support for this bill, which aims to address concerns about TikTok potentially being used as a tool for data collection and influencing users' views on issues. When Trump was president, he supported calls to ban the app, but he appears to have now backed away from that stance, though his rhetoric has at times sent seemingly mixed messages. In a post on Truth Social last week, Trump expressed opposition to a ban, arguing that if TikTok were out of the picture, Facebook would benefit, as he attacked Facebook and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg as an enemy of the people. In a Monday interview with CNBC, Trump said it was a tough decision whether the U.S. should ban TikTok and continued to argue that getting rid of it would benefit Facebook, adding that he thought, "Facebook has been very bad for our country." Trump said he thought TikTok posed a national security threat to the U.S., but said, "You have that problem with Facebook and lots of other companies too. And there are a lot of people on TikTok that love it. There's, a lot of good and there's a lot of bad with TikTok," Trump said. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who support the bill have argued that it is not a ban. In recent comments to reporters, Wisconsin Republican Rep. Mike Gallagher, who chairs a House Select Committee on China, rejected characterizations of the bill as a TikTok ban. "It's not a ban," he said. "It puts the choice squarely in the hands of TikTok to sever their relationship with the Chinese Communist Party. As long as ByteDance no longer owns the company, TikTok can continue to survive. The basic ownership structure has to change." TikTok has pushed back on claims from lawmakers that the legislation would provide options for the app. This legislation has a predetermined outcome: a total ban of TikTok in the United States. The company wrote in a post on X, "The government is attempting to strip 170 million Americans of their constitutional right to free expression. This will damage millions of businesses, deny artists an audience, and destroy the livelihoods of countless creators across the country." TikTok CEO Shou Chew has attempted to schedule 11th-hour meetings with members of Congress. The company also sent letters to multiple House lawmakers on Monday, accusing them of mischaracterizing TikTok's call to action campaign, saying it is offensive for lawmakers to dismiss the views of constituents who have overwhelmed congressional offices with phone calls. The House voted overwhelmingly Wednesday to approve a bipartisan bill that would require ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, to sell the social media app or face a ban on all U.S. devices. The vote was 352 to 65. The legislation's fate is unclear in the Senate. The top two lawmakers on the Senate Intelligence Committee since Marco Rubio R. and Mark Warner Diva released a joint statement praising the House bill and urging Senate action, but the timeline is unclear. Several lawmakers have suggested the Senate should hold hearings on the legislation before moving forward. The question of whether TikTok should be banned in the United States is a complex and contentious issue. Let's explore some perspectives. Supporters of a ban argue that TikTok, being owned by China-based ByteDance, could potentially be exploited by the Chinese government for data collection, surveillance, and disinformation campaigns. They believe that the app's access to user data poses a risk to U.S. citizens and national security. Opponents of a ban emphasize the importance of freedom of expression and creativity. TikTok has become a platform for users to share short videos, showcase talents, and connect with a global audience. Banning TikTok could limit this creative outlet and stifle innovation. TikTok has a massive user base in the U.S., and its ban could have a significant economic repercussions. It employs people, supports content creators, and contributes to the digital economy. Some argue that instead of banning TikTok outright, measures should focus on data privacy, transparency, and security audits. Policymakers must weigh the risks associated with TikTok against its benefits. Striking a balance between protecting national security and preserving individual rights is crucial. The decision to ban TikTok involves a delicate balance between security concerns, economic impact, and individual freedoms. It's essential to consider all perspectives and explore alternative solutions that address potential risks while allowing for responsible use of the platform. But what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions, doctors, including any type of specialty nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses, lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus, teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school, as well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.